Hi guys, Matt Lemke here with Through Wargaming Goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and today we're going to do a comparison video on the BattleTech Starter Box that is coming out with the refit and the BattleTech Core Box. These two boxes are each replacing what's the beginner box and the box of Armored Combat that are currently out, along with the clan upgrade and the... what was the other one? The other one's not important. But these are the two new box sets that are going to be available mainline in the near future. Aside from the obvious differences in the price, which is $30 roughly for the beginner box, or it's starter box, and about $70 for the core box, which has a lot more material in it. The obvious differences are, well, first we're gonna, well, not the pilot cards. There's pilot cards in both. First we're gonna zoom in and we're gonna take care of something that I left out of the unboxing, which was the Alpha Strike cards for the core box. These are all in the core box, and it's actually one of the things that is a difference. The starter box does not come with Alpha Strike cards. The two cards that would normally have been in the starter box are in the core box, and that's the Contigo. And as you can see from the Contigo, it has its role as a striker. It moves 18 inches. The TMMM is 3, size 2. It has a heat scale of 1, 2, 3. All the stuff is actually pretty standard. It has its... I'm going to zoom in more if I can. There's a little bit of glare I'm trying to avoid from my lights. It has ECM. I'm not familiar with all the abbreviations anymore, but there's actually 20 Alpha Strike cards, and they are front and back. The Contigo here again. Which one is this? This one's 52. Are they identical? They seem to be identical from that picture. We have Hammerhead here. Moves 10 inches, size 2, skirmisher. Cards sticking together. We have Hammerhead on the back as well. We have the Regent. Sniper. His role as a sniper. Heavy. He's a heavy mech. Size 4. He's big. He has case and Omni. He's an Omni mech. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the back side, we have another Regent with a slightly different loadout. We have the Mad Cat Mark II. Brawler, size 4. Classic mech. This one has case. This one has case and LRM. The Rakshasa. A sniper. A very fast sniper. This one's the MDG-3D, and that's the MDG-1A. 45 points compared to 43 points. We'll have the Vulture MK4. Then the Vulture Prime. We have the Uzil 9S. Holy cows. 16-inch jump. Uzil 2S. The Eris 2N. Another skirmisher. Oh, two cards sticking together. The Eris 2H. The Hollander. another sniper. And this one's the F3. We have the solitaire. And we have, this is the solitaire 3, and this is the solitaire. Now, outside of that, the other major differences, and the biggest of them is what we're going to go over last. But the next thing we're going to cover is some of the rules differences between the two boxes. Oh, I think I have to zoom back out a little bit. So I think the easiest way to do that is going to be to go over the data sheets. So as you can see in the starter box, there is no internal structure like you have in the core rulebook. One thing they have now on the starter cards, which are dry erase, by the way, which is good, is the damage transfer is right on the card. All the gunnery and skill ratings are right on the card. In the core box, you can play with your gunnery and skill using the missions, which is a big difference. The missions are far expanded in the rule book for the core rules. Other big differences, there is a very simplified table. The beginner box, the starter rulebook basically gives you gator, your movement modifiers, and center torso. It has like no elevated terrain in the game, so basically you're focusing on line of sight and movement and shooting things. That's the basics to the sequence of play for the core rules. The missions are really designed to be 15 to 30 minutes long and basically give someone who has never played BattleTech or maybe even a miniatures game a feel for what BattleTech is like. Now you move over to the core rulebook, which, well, by the way, we'll just say the pages aren't numbered. I think this is about a 15-page rulebook compared to, I believe, well, got ahead of myself a little bit, but I'm going to finish my thought. I believe this is like 79 pages, 70-page rulebook. So the game is much, much different in that regard. Now, the other things that are different is, so as you can see here, the core reference card is much more detailed. It has all your piloting skill table rolls here. It has heat on the bottom, which heat is missing from the starter box altogether. You have physical attacks, which are added to the core rules. And the hits location table. Big difference. As you can see, the hit location table in the starter box is only front and back. There is no sides. There is no torso twisting. And the firing arcs are very different. That is the big things that I have caught from playing. I did have the opportunity to use the starter box and teach someone how to play, and they're hooked. But as you can see, the firing arcs from the core rules to the starter are very different. So the core rulebook, the core rules add a lot more things to it. They add, they add a lot more diagrams. They add a lot more crunch to the game. They add more in-depth diagrams of line of sight and some really good diagrams for your different firing arcs. They adds heat, and this is one thing that I really am happy about getting with BattleTech is the hit location chart. It's got all the numbers on it for how you're hit depending on what you roll and what side you're firing from. And if you flip it over, It's a cluster hit table chart, which you don't have in the starter. Well, I mean, you do have it, but you don't have this card in the starter. Key differences, like I said, combat, critical hits are in here. The new rules for case and max 20 damage. I haven't read through all these rules, but here's what I know, besides the fact that the core rulebook is much crunchier. You get BattleTech Sagas as well, which is an overview of the universe, which I have not read yet, but I plan on reading in the very near future. If you've played BattleTech and are returning to the game, you want the core rules. If you are an individual that is planning on demoing the game, or if you're a store owner and you want to grow BattleTech, the starter box is a must-have. It is very basic. But it's designed not to take a lot of your time or the player's time and give them the initial feel. If I was still a store owner, I would use the quick start rules here to teach people to play the game, play 2, maybe 3 games, and then I would sell them on the core rulebook. Because for most players, this is going to be a very fast step. I'm not saying that if they don't want it, they shouldn't buy it, but the core rulebook here, compared to the actual core rulebook, the core box rulebook is 70 pages compared to 270 pages of the core rules, and there's not a lot of things that are missing from the game to get you playing mech on mech combat or lance to lance combat from this rulebook. I think the key differences between this and the core rules are the instances of battlefield support are much more evolved. The missions section is much more evolved, which missions in the core box rulebook allows you to set up your own missions, create your first mission, and set up different objectives and things. It's more modernized to give you more ways to play BattleTech than just crushing your enemy. And they kind of streamlined that in the sense and made it modern, like a lot of other games that are out there. Not as complicated as some of the objectives that are out there. It's still straightforward and feels like BattleTech. It also has a force building table for you to use the BV value and do things like add your piloting skills up and down and things of that nature. Where the core rule book, and we'll go over this more when I do the flip through on it. The core rule book has more missions in it. It has battlefield support. It has battlefield assets in more detail on some of the more advanced rules. For most players, I think in my history, I started playing BattleTech in 84, 85, 86, somewhere around there, with the original starter box, or the BattleTech box that was armored, the box of armored combat, I think it was called. I don't own it anymore. I sadly had to sell it. And I played hard for about 10 years. Went to college, stopped playing, played hard for 3 or 4 more years when I owned a game store. I was a commando. I volunteered. I ran local events as a commando, and we grew a local community. I wish that as a store owner I would have had this to teach new players, because this is a little bit too crunchy for new gamers, I think. That was my take on it when I had the store. They would much rather play something that was not as much to digest. And I did not have the skill set to break it down like this. I would have never thought of omitting heat and firing arcs to teach the game and make it easier to play. I think if you're returning to BattleTech, the core box is most likely where you want to start. It's very familiar to what you're used to, especially if you started like when I did with the box of armored combat. It's pretty much mech on mech, lance on lance, no vehicles, no infantry rules in this book. Those are left for the core rules and the older rules that you can still play through Advanced Warfare. So, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know. And so far, you know, this has been a great week for BattleTech at Through Wargaming Goggles. I can't thank you guys enough for watching my videos and being a part of this community. I was not expecting some of the success I had. I was actually expecting less success than what I had with some of it. So I am glad that this community is so strong and they're interested in learning more. I hope this comparison helps a lot of you make a decision as to what to buy with the refit or what not to buy. So if here's one caveat too: the quick start rules come with the Hammerhead and the Contigo. If you want them, you got to figure, if you're going to buy them in pewter from Ironwood Metals, they're probably $15 a piece. That's the price of this box. So if those two mechs are worth $30 to you, by all means, pick it up and pick up the core box. The core box set is a foundational, and I think 60% of most of your BattleTech players are going to buy this and play with this set of rules. I think that the core rulebook is there, and it's going to add a lot of different depth to it, but I think that's going to be for your more die-hard gung-ho players. And I will let you know how that goes in the near future. I'm not going to get to play with the core rulebook before Gen Con, which is only a few days away. I am going to get to do a flip through on it with you, probably on Sunday. Anyway, again, I can't thank you guys enough for the success that this week has been for Through Wargaming Goggles. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any comments or if you have any questions you want me to ask Randall at Gen Con that aren't, like, you know, ridiculously off the wall or just blatantly rude, but are very beneficial to the community, please post them in a comment below. I will be leaving town Tuesday. After Tuesday, I can't guarantee you that I'm going to look at them or if that I will have a chance to see them before I see Randall and get to do the interview with him. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any questions at all about BattleTech, please ask. Have a good day.
Hi guys, meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in a link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know. You're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.